The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it. Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Q Time is our classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
All right, y'all missed that super crunk thing I just did. I was up dancing and all the other good shit, and the production team wasn't ready. I would do it again, but the way my AARP set up, I can only do it once a week. So what's up, Omega? I'm glad to have y'all. Today is the 2nd of February, 2022. Y'all know how we do it. This is Random Thoughts with DVP. I got some guests today. We're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations and some real talk about how we're gonna change some things. Now, I want y'all to remember a couple of things I have said about 2022, and I'm gonna try to say as true to this as I can. And I got some people who are gonna keep me straight and legit. One, Make sure y'all got some people who will call you on your BS. If you want to be a better version of you, don't just have people who gonna co-sign with your foolishness because they on your team. They gotta correct you on your BS so that you come correct. I got two brothers. One of them is insane. I ain't gonna tell you his name, but when you see it pop up, you're gonna be like, that ain't his real name. He insane, don't pay him no attention. The other brother ain't got the two initials. That's the voice of reason. And I like to disagree with him too. But the thing is, you need these people in your circle. You need when you doing this village thing, get your own village. Start picking people who you want to be your neighbors to keep you focused, who can give you information, who you can exchange information with, and it ain't no beef for y'all into this whole name calling thing. So, but one of the big things I'm seeing in 2022, and I'm gonna get these brothers' opinion on, I'm gonna have two ladies on the show too. I don't want y'all to think it's gonna be just a whole dude show. Is I'm tired of this battle of the sexes. It's one of the things that we're gonna stop. What we can do is work on each other being better. And with these two dudes, we're gonna start on this, because every time I see a man blaming a woman for something, he strikes me as cowardly. Now, understand this when we get into the show. This ain't to say that women ain't to blame. This ain't to say that men ain't to blame. But to be a better version of you, you got to figure out what part you played in the process. Did you make a bad decision? Fellas, did you pick the wrong woman? Then don't blame her for being the wrong woman. I told y'all before, and ladies, I ain't dogging y'all right now, but I'm gonna get to y'all in a minute. Fellas, if you pick an Instagram hoe, then don't get mad when she leave you for somebody with more money. But when you pick a good woman, stop holding her to Instagram hoe standards. Ladies, when you make a bad decision, stop saying the dude tricked you. Just say you missed the signs. Because one something about it, and I'm a bet, I ain't even told these guys what my intro was about yet. Very few of us have been in bad relations and didn't see the clues up front. It didn't take long. We just kept excusing them for whatever reason, whether we was young and horny, whether we was misguided in our prioritization, whether we didn't know our own preferences and priorities. And instead of manning up and saying, you know what, I picked the wrong chick because I was interested in her booty as opposed to her mind. If that's where you was at, once you accept that reality, you can start making better decisions, because you're gonna see a lot of chicks with pretty booties, and if they can fix your mind, then understand that's what your mind need to be fixed. They can't be blamed for having a pretty booty, and that's what you like. Ladies, same thing. It's a lot of good looking dudes out here. They're scammers. You keep picking them. You see they ain't got nothing. If every brother you pick is struggling, and I'm talking about y'all, if you're struggling, it's okay. Admit that and move on. Sometimes women, men, whoever is out our league because we're struggling. We ain't where we want to be. You got to accept that. Take that L, figure out what you did wrong, and get better at your decision-making skills. So when we get out of this, they wrong, the women wrong, the men wrong, we can become a better people because we can be better selves, and then we can make better decisions. And that's what we got to get with this. I'm so tired of this battle of the sexes. I'm so tired of seeing my brothers taking every chance they can to knock a woman for a decision she made that they ain't had nothing to do with. She did this. Well, why'd you stay? If she ain't shit, why'd you stay? If you knew she wasn't shit, why'd you get her pregnant? If you knew she wasn't shit, why'd you have raw sex with her? Oh, right. So these was your decisions. Well, I ain't told her I had a baby, but you had raw sex with her. So you knew what's about. You ain't that stupid. She controlled that narrative, whether she want to have a baby or not. You control the narrative whether or not you drop your seed in her or not. So you got to take some of that responsibility. She couldn't get pregnant without you, player. She couldn't get pregnant. Again, that ain't to take nothing off the ladies. They got to be blamed for something too. When he leave you and you know he never had good intentions, that's your fault. But everybody got everybody got their own personal blame to bear without trying to blame everybody else. And we got to get past that. So with that being said, like I said, I'm waiting on two ladies, but I want to start the show because I figured my two guys was going to show up early. We're gonna get into a little something because I wanted to make sure I got two topics because I know my second topic is going to probably take us too long. And I've been told I need to start cutting topics short so that we can have some, I need to leave y'all wanting a little bit more. So right, going to take us to commercial break. And then when I come back, I'm going to introduce Mo and Mr. Real Tailgaters. What's up, Rob? What's happening with you?
Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Share this the page. Where I go to share?
I don't know. Roy, send him a message, tell him how to share it. All right, we back. Oh, there go Dougie Fresh. He came. Look at him. See, now Dougie Fresh got good credit. He's supposed to be here early, so I'm gonna knock some points off his credit score. That's how you hit them good credit brothers. So as I said, I'm gonna let these brothers introduce themselves. We're gonna start with Mr. Real first name. We're gonna let Mo tell you who he is and what he got going, so y'all know who the panelists are as we talk. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay, I'll get going. All right. Mo Triplet. First name is really Maurice, but I go by Mo Triplet. I'm here. I want to support and help this conversation. This is a critical conversation, man. A lot of us, we just need to have this, man. Our culture has been decimated. We need to figure out why. We need to come together as I don't even think Black men and Black women are coming together yet, man. We still got a lot of stuff that we need to work on. And what I'm going to tell you is I wrote 3 books. I'm the author of 3 books. Wrote one on police brutality. It's, obviously that's something that impacts our culture. I got an autobiography. It's about myself. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. If you want to read it, just get in touch with me. But basically, a lot of life lessons in there. Broken family, poverty, all of that. I dealt with all of that. So I got a lot of knowledge and I can help a lot of people going through trials and tribulations. And I also wrote a book on relationships, men and women, and, the psychology associated with with relationships. So that's all I'll say right here. I'll turn it over back to you, DVP.
All right, go ahead, real tailgaters. I blocked the FBI.
What's up, guys? Appreciate you having me on the show, DVP. I'm Real Tailgaters, aka Mike. I'm just here to put some balance on this show tonight. Thank you.
and I got my boy Dougie Fresh on here, one of my classmates who, he do his thing, so I wanted to have him on the show so we can get another opinion too.
Yeah, thanks, DVP. We definitely go way back to the old days of the halls of Thurl High School. So that's all a good thing there. So I'm Doug. Don't know if I have anything particularly going on, but for this particular topic, there's some relevance because, I am a dad of 2 young ladies. Very proud of them. And so I hope to bring some kind of knowledge here in terms of what could make a good spouse as well as parent. So that's what I hope to lend that kind of advice here into the conversation.
All right. So one of the first things I want to talk as we wait for the ladies to show up is, and I told somebody, as a matter of fact, I told Robert to start watching this. I was listening to some people talk about this whole Black SCOTUS thing, nominating a Black woman for it. And I was looking at who was tearing it down most. And it didn't seem like it was nobody else. It seemed like it just seemed like it was so many Black men. And it's like, why is it that Black men feel the urge to tear down Black women anytime they get a chance? They ain't good enough for this. They ain't good enough for that. And I'm gonna stay strong with what I said. They don't have to be, because in my trials and tribulations, and I'm 56, I ain't never heard a woman ask a man to submit. I ain't never heard a woman ask a man to do something, let me lead, and then they don't want to. Or when somebody don't lead, they got complaints. We want all of this. So yeah, I put the onus on us. This is one of the things that I know I'm in the course of Mo, because Mo believes that men should be hunters and providers, and we got to protect our women. It seems like we're forgetting a lot of that. And it seems like we'd like to take shots at them and pick out where they're inferior and just pounce on that, as opposed to just try to uplifting them. And in 2022, that's one of my missions, is to get us, especially Black men, to do more uplifting. If a woman is wrong, it's easy to help her understand some of the mistakes she made without trying to drag her or telling her she's substandard. So that was what I wanted to start the first portion of the show. Like I said, and I wanted the guys to be here first. So I'm gonna let the guys tell you their opinions and what they seeing and how we can get better at this game where we keep playing Battle of the Sexes. Can we just come together? As most time, we got to come together. We ain't got to always agree. We ain't got to always be best kissing buddies. But we got to start coming together and stop being so divisive on every little single issue. So Mo, get us started on that, sir.
Listen, I'm gonna come right at this real hard. I'm just gonna say, listen, if you're not a ride or die brother, don't put that on no woman and say she got to be a ride or die woman and stick with you. You know what I mean? We got to support each other. That's what it really needs to be. You can't you can't put her in a substandard position or in a position of weakness. That's horrible. I mean, she's not, she needs your support. She needs you to beef her up, just like, you want her on the sideline. You a ball player, whatever. You want her on the sideline cheering you on. We got to do that in real life.
Real tailgaters.
Balance, you know what I'm saying? Just balance. We got to have balance on both sides of the coin. And, a lot of times I feel like you put so much pressure on a man, but it has to be balanced. At the end of the day, I've been married. Me and my wife been together for 33 years.
She need a Nobel Peace Prize.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that right, brother, because you can get in trouble, man.
Huh?
So get that number right, because you can get in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that one. So
our anniversary. As a matter of fact, our anniversary is Thursday.
Oh, that's what's up. Right, congratulations.
Coming up Thursday. So having a balance, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got to be placed. If the blame is there, you got to walk that plank. That's how.
What you got for me, David Fresh?
So DVP, going back to one of the points you made in terms of, Black men not celebrating, President Biden's promise to appoint, to nominate a Black lady for the Supreme Court. I think that's a fantastic line drawn in the sand, and we should all celebrate it. Now, I know that in terms of interpersonal relationships and so forth, everyone's going to encounter, the angry Black woman and have some issues, from that standpoint. But, looking macroscopically at the overall thing, we have to be able to support and, celebrate the accomplishments and so forth of each other. Divided we fall, united we stand. And if I were to say, if you look at Thurgood Marshall, one of the greatest men to ever walk the earth, in my opinion, and the things that he did, from a leadership perspective in that same court, certainly set a good standard of what, African Americans can do. But us black men, we can't shame a woman for whoever she might be to be appointed, because the last black man to be appointed to the Supreme Court, my personal opinion is he's probably the worst, Supreme Court judge ever. So we can't talk. Whoever it is can't be worse than him.
All right, let me say this about
DP.
Yeah.
DP.
Yes, sir.
I apologize. I was trying to share the live, and I ain't catch the question. And you asked a question about how we feel about the president appointing a black, saying that he's going to appoint a black judge.
No, not so much how you feel about it. It was more of a point of when he did it, we started dogging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell me how you feel about it. But no, I was making a point of how we started dogging the black woman again.
We as who? As far as who?
Black men.
Okay, I apologize. I was trying to share the live.
I know you was ignoring me. You can say that.
Here's the thing. They always set us up with somebody who looked like us to make us look bad. So we gotta look past, and we gotta make sure we make enough noise for whoever's appointed, whatever black woman is appointed. We got as the leaders, as black strong men that I see on your show, we gotta make sure our voice is heard to support the young lady or the black lady or anybody who's appointed. We can't let these knuckleheads that go and dog them out, just let them dog them out. They've been sent by somebody who's controlling them.
Right. And I want to address something that you said, and you talked about the balancing relationship. And you've been married 34 years. Let me just get this out right quick. Mo, how long you been married?
Geez, my wife would smack me in the back of the head. Let's just say 30 plus. We're gonna just say 30 plus.
You just got on Mike for making sure he didn't get, and you supposed to have that wrote down.
I only got the number, man. 30 plus.
Dude, how long were you married?
22 years.
Okay. And I've been married 3 times, and all y'all still got me beat if I add all mine together, so I ain't even going. But I just want to get some background on our status as we talk about this. And Mike, when you said something about balance, I'm all for balance. But the problem I have with balance is when you have brothers who keep demanding to be the leader. When you're the leader, there is no balance. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the losses with the wins. That's what a leader does. You don't see Tom Brady blaming somebody for missing something. Tom Brady get credit for the wins. He got to take the blame for the loss. When a man keeps talking about he wants submission, because I will bet Doug been married 22 years. You and Mo been married 30 plus years. Y'all understand, to make the relationship work, there's submission on both sides. And and I look at a lot of guys who talk about the ills of marriage and all this. They're single. They ain't never really experienced it, so they talking from a point of ignorance. Because anybody who's been married or been in a successful relationship know that at the end of the day, I always tell people this: I'm gonna pay for the living room set, but I'm gonna take my wife to look at it. And out of respect, you know what she gonna do? She gonna ask me which one do I like, but she gonna sit on the one she like, and I'm smart enough to pick the one she's sitting on, because that's how the system works. She ain't gonna say get this one, but she gonna sit on her favorite one, and we all pick up on that clue because it's a give and take. But you can't keep demanding. You can't keep demanding. Follow me, let me lead, let me lead. And then something go wrong. Well, it's your fault. You should have did this, and that's my issue with these brothers who want to act like they done led this life that you guys have led, and I'm jealous. But I'm coming for you. I almost got 2 years in. I'm trying to get to these 10, then 15, a step at a time. And that's why, I agree with the balance. But you can't keep demanding submission, because I guarantee you, Mo, how many times you done told your wife she needs to submit to you?
The hell? Are you crazy?
Exactly.
The fact that I'm here on this show today is a testament that I never did that. You out of your mind, man.
And you made sure she was okay with you being on the show right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, but I just want to add to that, man, because I can't even count on my fingers, man, how many times I consulted my wife before I made a decision, before I made a move, because all these people thinking that, the wife should be in a submissive position or secondary position, they crazy as hell, man. I use my wife as primary, just like me. I go to her, man. If I have a decision to make, an important decision to make, or I need something qualified, I start with her. you know, and
Right.
you know, we work it out together.
Mike?
What's the question?
How many?
I mean, I'm listening to everything, but what's the question?
Yeah, you're gonna quit ignoring me, brother.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening to everything he's saying, but
listen, you're gonna quit ignoring me. First of all, this is my show. You're gonna pay attention. You're gonna pay attention.
I'm caught up in this. I'm caught up in this, you know, submission. But
that's saying, when was the last time you told your wife she needs to submit to you?
Here's the thing that when you marry, ain't no such thing. It's a business, and y'all make business decisions. So both of you in everything, because if you're gonna make a profit, you both sharing in the profit. If you're gonna lose, you both losing. If you filing bankruptcy, you both filing bankruptcy. It ain't no. It's together. It's us. So everything is us. You know what I'm saying? If I'm crying, you're gonna be crying. We all gonna be walking up the street together. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a corporation. Her business and my business got together, and now we run this corporation, which is kids, house, managing small business. So submission, no, bro. What do you do that at?
But see, Doug, you was married for 22 years, and you probably gonna echo what they saying.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when I think of submission, I think about, you know.
You probably gonna echo what they saying.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of submission, I think about, you know.
One day I got to turn y'all computer down.
Yeah, somebody got the computer up real loud. But when I think about submission, I think about, you know, Wrestling 2 putting the figure 4 leg lock on Ole Anderson, and then Ole having to submit, you know, because of the pain. It's too excruciating, you know. So in a marriage, you know, you're not trying to deliver excruciating pain to your partner. For me, I view it really in terms of any relationship. You've got to have cooperation and sort of a teamwork, and that's something that must come from both individuals from that standpoint. So I don't see it as anything other than let's make sure that we're working, you know, as a team for the same goals and so forth. And when you find that, you know, you're at cross purposes, then that's where you need to have conversations. And hopefully, you know, in those conversations, you're able to redirect your efforts back towards, you know, something that you both can agree on.
And I think that's where, as the elder statesman, we have to speak more on these subjects, not attack the guys who ain't married that don't know this, but we got to let women know that the real men do understand this theory, that we understand that this is a corporation. This is a business. Love is cute, and it's a vital part of the business, but this is a business nonetheless. I would say from you gentlemen, what little I know about y'all, except for the crazy one, that there are times when we down and we want a woman who can step up and take over without us feeling like we've been emasculated. And we do the same thing for her. It's a co-op. There's nobody who's in charge every single day. But when I see these posts with guys who's single or talking all this trash to these women who looking for good dudes, I don't think we're unicorns. I think what we are, unfortunately, is we're quiet because we don't want to get into that foolishness. And it's like when somebody asks me this, like, why do you argue with these people? I say, because there's people in the background watching to see if somebody gonna step up. And those are the people who inbox me a lot of time. Sometimes I'm talking to, and I know I'm talking to a fool, but there are people on the thread who looking because they want somebody to say something that they can latch onto and not think that all men are stupid or all men are selfish or all men are this. Because who are these guys? You know, they trolling women. Like I said, we have to do a better job of helping the village out because we are the elders in that village and we understand how this works. And that education system kind of falls on us. Would you agree?
I would. Yeah, I would. In fact, I just want to touch upon something Doug said. You know, he's talking about agreement. And I just want to say, you know, sometimes agreement is compromise. You know, like if my wife comes up to me sometimes, she say, you know, I want these types of curtains in the living room. Man, I don't really care. You get what you want. You know, I'm compromising with you. I don't need to agree with you. You go ahead. I'm compromising with you. Get what you want. You know, sometimes that's the answer.
And it is. And in that context, if we use the simplest of terms that people, because you know, it seems like we so hung up on words. In that negotiation, You submitted to what she wanted. And it's so, it's a shame how that word submission can drive people insane. You know, one time I said, you know, we have to train each other. People say, I ain't no animal like this. What? Stay focused. If, and I'm gonna use us because we cool. If I dated a woman who dated Mike, she should know how to treat me, and she know how to treat Mike. I don't want that same treatment because I'm gonna say I ain't him. So I gotta train her on what I like. Mike gotta train. Well, he married now, so he can't do. But we all have to train people for what we are. Oh, who you train? You know, when you go to a job, they call it on-the-job training. Whether you want to use the word education or some word that makes you feel good, it's the same thing. And we get submission. I ain't submitting no woman. I ain't submitting. You gotta be. You ain't gonna never be happy in a relationship if you don't submit to a woman. You ain't gonna never be happy, never. And we, like I said, we get so caught up on them words that we become our own worst enemy.
Man, I just want to add to that because that training is important. In fact, this it happens it just happens anyway because, you know, after a certain time, man, your wife knows or your husband knows what you don't like to eat, which side of the bed you want to sleep on, you know, how hot you want your tea, you know, anything, you know. So you both just learn that over time.
Right, and that's the crazy part. I see I got my two ladies in the house, so we're gonna touch on this a little bit more, then we're gonna switch on over to the good stuff because I got Deb here, who's gonna be Dr. Deb, and my friend the lady Deborah. So she gonna psychoanalyze us as we going through this and going through that. And I see Trina Marie. Oh, there she goes. She got a camera on. Y'all know who Trina Marie is. That's the one who hold me hostage. So don't let the pretty face fool you. She hit me with a frying pan before, and I had to call her mama because she wasn't acting right. I'm sure more y'all understand how this abusive system works, but I still love her.
Hey, well, it wasn't hot grits, so you good.
It wasn't a pan.
Don't give her no ideas, Mo. You keep giving people ideas. Stop with the madness. So, Deb, do a quick introduction right quick so everybody know who the panelists are.
Who, me?
Yeah, you Deb, ain't but one.
Me. I'm Deb. I'm Deborah. I'm a licensed clinical mental health therapist. I work in high schools. I am a former deputy sheriff. That's how I got hoodwinked with you know who. When I retired from being a deputy sheriff, I went into the school system as a resource officer and realized that what our kids did not need, they did not need to be policed. They needed therapy. And here I am.
And she's been a wife. You still a wife now, ain't you?
3 times.
Okay, so she like me, she just keep practicing. She a glutton for punishment. And then of course I got the lovely Trina Marie. Tell them who you are, Trina Marie, how you abuse me. I mean not how you love me so much. So yeah.
I'm Trina Marie. I am the better half of DVP. Also the owner of Little Things by Kalia. Don't believe nothing he say about me, nothing.
All right, so as y'all came in on Telly, and I'm glad y'all did, we were just discussing how much it seems on social media, there's so many guys willing to always try to blame something on women while demanding submission and other stuff. And it goes. Real Interrogators has been married 30 plus years. Mo been married 30 plus years. Doug has been married 20 years.
Actually,
I'm sorry?
We've been together for 33 years. This Thursday will be 28 years.
Congratulations.
Okay. Same thing. Yeah. Y'all
Congratulations, yeah.
Appreciate it.
You ain't but 41, so what? Right out of second grade, y'all hooked up.
Yeah. Tell it to my knees.
So, you know, we were talking about that because all of us have been married and all of us fall under the air quote real men thing where we realize we uplift our women and it is a business, it's cooperation. We ain't demanding submission. More times than not, we giving it to it so we can have peace. But submission is a part of a relationship. So I actually wanted to go over that part without you ladies. But now that y'all here, we're gonna get to the good shit. Cause this is where me and Mike, Mike brought this topic up and Travis co-signed it because I was having a conversation with my friend Travis last week.
Say it.
Oh, I'm gonna get to it. Travis asked me a question. We was talking about kids and raising them, and Travis said, well, what makes a good dad? And I've thought about it because all of us are over 45, except for Real Tailgater. She like 42 and a quarter.
I ain't over 45. Hold on.
I'm to all the guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can't be a dad.
You're trying to age me.
So we grew up.
If
we grew up with a male figure, chances are he was out working and providing financially for the mother. He wasn't really around. Was he a great dad or was he a great provider? Because what is it that a dad should actually do to be a great dad? Because being a great dad, being a great provider, being a great spouse, and I don't want to harp on great dad. I want to harp on great parent more because I don't want to make this a battle of the sexes. What does it take to be a great parent? What does it take to be a great spouse? What does it take to be a great provider? Because too many times, and this one I'm gonna pick on men, even some women, we put finances at the top of the ladder. If a woman is financially taken care of, that'll make her happy. But then you see all these women who want more time. And I should have had Roy play If You Think You're Lonely Now by Bobby Womack. But fellas, what's your take on being, and I want to use the fellas first, ladies. What's your take on what does it take to be a great dad?
Wait. Let me take on this first. Can I take on this first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this. A good dad, a great dad, a good dad, definition of a great or good dad can fall in different places. You can provide financial wealth to the family, keeping everybody comfortable, a roof over their head, food in their mouth, shoes on their feet, a way to get from A to B. But just because you can't hug ain't bringing no food in the house. Kissing and loving ain't bringing no roof over your head. So it's different ways of showing that father, showing that you care. Go ahead.
Is that important though? It's showing, okay, so because all of that is materialistic. But if hugging, attaboys, rubbing on the head, shoulder bumps, fist bumps, is that important though? Because in actuality, that's a missing component in a lot of relationships between parents and their children. Parents will distance themselves. When kids get in high school, parents think, okay, I can step back now. When in actuality, that's where they need to spend the most time and energy. So you gave the materialistic viewpoint, but what about the emotional viewpoint? And most men, keep it real, in our society, we don't do emotions. Men don't cry, boys are not supposed to cry. They're not supposed to feel any emotions. But what happens? What happens to them when they don't have that emotional connection? My husband showed up to all the baseball games, okay? But he never one time hugged my son. And I brought it to his attention. You know, good game, bad game, whatever. Make some kind of contact with him so he knows that you are the provider, but you are also emotionally connected to him or to your children.
Well, let me ask you something.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you something. If you take away everything that father provides as far as finance, and she get nothing at the week to week or end of the week, he don't provide any shelter or clothes or food, but he's just showing all the love he can. He ain't got no money to give. What good is that? Can she survive with that? Can she manage with that?
You're making it an either or.
About the kid though?
She call him a deadbeat dad. He ain't providing no money, but he's showing all the love. I'm gonna walk to the house, or wherever you are, but I don't have any money to give you. I don't have anything to provide for you as far as money, but I can show you love. I'll show up at your game, hug you, kiss you, cheer you on.
And you said, you know, what does she say? I thought this was about the kid. You know, what kind of father are you to this child? Are you just a provider, or are you, giving the hugs and the love? And And honestly, like a lot of times, especially these days, women got the financial part taken care of with the kid. A lot of us, some of us feel like keep the money, take the kid. Keep the money, take the kid, because that's the stuff that they're both equally important. But I would have to say, if I had to put them on a scale, I would say the emotional stuff is more important. That's what they're going to remember when they look back at their childhood. They not think about, oh, my dad, he paid the bills, he made sure we had a car. They'll look at those things, but it's like, damn, there's no connection. It's how you laid out the paying the bills and all the other stuff without hugs. It's like, that's like me making the most delicious looking meal on earth. I ain't putting no salt, I ain't putting no pepper, ain't got no seasoning. It looks delicious though, but then when you go to eat it, it's like it's all bland. And can we make it seem like the season ain't important? Of course the seasoning is important.
Or to use a word, Mike, where's the balance? Because and I get it, because I grew up in that era where our dads, when we look back at what did they teach us to make us better? We learned to work, but we didn't learn emotion. We didn't learn how to deal with emotions. We didn't learn how to deal with grief because they were working. Our mother taught us that. Then we turn around and blame women because men are like this because they're raised by the mother. The father was in the house, but he came home at night, ate, and went to sleep and went back to work. So are we keeping this generational curse going by neglecting our kids and not giving them that personal time? Because money ain't personal. Money ain't never personal. You can get money from the government. You can get money from your friends and neighbors, but you can't get that love. So when we're talking about this great parent, and we're using dad specifically now, can we continue to do what we learned that we know left us wanting something? Why is it that we always speak to our mothers first? Because they were always there. They were in the crowd. Dad was out working so that we could do these things. But how many times do your parents say, part of the reason that Tom Brady's leaving, because Giselle hit it. You need to see your kids. They know who you are, but do you know who they are? You ain't been to none of their events. We financially secure, but they ain't never seen you in the audience. They ain't never seen them and come able to hug you after an event. At some point, as men, we got to step up to that and accept that emotional challenge, don't you think? As you say, balance. If I was providing this money,
but I was saying that does not make him. It's not saying that he's not a good father.
But we ain't talking about what ain't a good. We talking about the makings of. What do we got to do other outside? We can't keep basing everything on finances, because finances. A woman can help us with the finances. What your wife, what your spouse can't help you with, she can't help you with the emotional attachment. That's a personal issue. Mo, give me something right quick, Mo, while Mike thinking on something.
Yeah, so the one thing I just want to say is that I think what the men and the women, but I'll just stick with the men. What the men have to bring is they have to be like a preview to life. They're bringing in experience, they're bringing in knowledge, they're bringing in a lot of stuff that the young man won't know or the young girl won't know. They're bringing that information to the forefront and giving it to them early, so they won't have to touch the hot stove to know that it's going to burn the shit out of them. They don't have to touch it, because I'm going to tell you, listen, if you touch that stove, it's going to hurt you. I'm bringing you information, I'm bringing you knowledge. And that's what I think the biggest part of the benefit of having a stable household and parents, that's what I think they bring to the table.
And Doug, I know you got a daughter who, was she either just graduated from UGA or she just went to UGA, something like that?
Yeah, so I have two daughters. One graduated from UGA a few years ago, and the other graduated from University of Alabama. So Crimson Tide, UGA, I'm winning every weekend pretty much. Doesn't matter. But to that extent, I see that the father's role is really multifaceted. You got a lot of things you have to do. If you can, there should be some financial support, and you need to do it as much as you possibly can. And that's kind of for most of us guys, that's kind of the main purpose for us when we think about the kids. We want to make sure that they're good no matter what, whether we're in the household or not, from that standpoint. And, if you're married, obviously the wife as well. So for me, I want to make sure that was there. And I'm driven towards that anyways. But also, I want to make sure that when I got divorced, they were right in high school, maybe one was heading to college, that kind of thing. No, they were still in high school. So I just want to make sure I had a conspicuous presence at all the different things that were happening. You know, they were very much into, you know, cheerleading and band and other things like that. And so, you know, I want to make sure that I was there as a present, you know, hey, you know, I'm a guy, I'm a man watching over them so that, you know, the young fellas, you know, will see that and see me and recognize that, you know, they got some protection, you know, not take too many unnecessary liberties, you know, because there could be some repercussions, right? Just there, unspoken, right? So the guys kind of know that. I mean, when I was a youngster, you know, big dad hanging around, you know, you kind of got a little respect. So that's part of it. And then the other side of that is as young ladies mature and they go through their lives and so forth, and economic realities come into play, needing this, needing that, wanting that, you know, it's important, again, from economics that they understand that, hey, you don't need to go get it from some other guy. You can get it from your dad. So that's kind of a thing too. So they have that comfort zone. And those are economic things. But then also, you know, to be there for the things you can be and providing that kind of emotional support, like what Trina Marie was talking about now. My girls were girly girls. And so they were involved in some, you know, a lot of hair and makeup and going to get, you know, mani-pedi and those kind of things. And I never went to the beauty parlor. I never got a mani-pedi with them, right, from that standpoint. But, you know, in terms of the recitals and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to make sure that I was there, you know, for that standpoint. So a little different with different genders, you know, little boys, you know, we gonna be in the locker room together, maybe, you know, that would be my vision. But you try to do a little bit of both, in my opinion. You need to, as much as you possibly can, you know, be a provider, the provider, whatever it is, provide the leadership to say, okay, these are some values that are important, to, you know, do this, don't do that, that kind of thing. And then, you know, some emotional support as you can, you know, within context of what they do and what's expected from a father to daughter or father to son relationship.
Balance.
And that's where the physical support is so important. I mean, you said you wanted to be there to keep boys away from them, but understand this, and I learned this from hanging around one of my other daughters.
Boys respect.
They want to be able to say, that's my dad over there. See, it's about them. It ain't about you. They want to be able to say that. And they can't say that if we all the time working. That gives them a sense of security. You know, we thinking it from our end. And that's why I say, you know, we grew up thinking that a man is supposed to work and provide. And I ain't knocking that theory. But as we know better and do better, it takes more than just financial stability. Unless you, I mean, most women will work now. Remember, if we look back on our grandparents or whatever, our grandmothers couldn't work. So the man had to provide the financial aid. Now, most of the days, these women can work and they will work. So we don't have to work as much unless that is our arrangement. So we have to, for me, it's imperative that we step up and be a more physical presence in their life so that we can teach these life lessons. So they ain't learn all of them from mother or all of them from the streets. At some point, we hang out. I tell Trina sometimes, you know, just go hang out. Me and Zuri, that's the 8-year-old, we just gonna be here playing. I don't want her in the house because she's a medium. If something goes wrong, one of us gonna run to her. If she's gone, we can't do that. It's important that me and her just spend time together without the mother, so that she knows that I'm there. And I can still make the money. And that's all I'm saying is we can't keep acting like money is the end all to be all. Well, I paid for this, I got this, what else you want me to do? Well, we want your companionship. I mean, that's part of the reason we got into this partnership is for companionship, yes?
Yeah, so quick comment. You know, based on what Doug was saying, I heard this saying, and it says presence with the CE over presence with the NTS. So have your presence over giving your child presence. And I can tell you how important that is because as a young boy, you know, I come from a real broken, jacked up background. And my father would always say he's gonna come see me. And like I'll say 10 out of 10 times he wouldn't show up. And I tell you that really had an impact on me, that his presence wasn't there. I didn't care about, he would, you know, the times that he would show up sometimes, but the times that he would show up, he'd bring me something. Man, I could give a damn about the presents that he brought me. I just wanted him to be there. And then that taught me that the physical presence was much more important than what he was bringing in terms of, clothes or shoes or anything else.
Absolutely. My oldest daughter, her father was a peekaboo dad. That's what I'll call him. You know, he would be in, you know, show up for a week and then be gone for months. And that's just kind of how it was. Like her whole life, never badmouthed him, because I wanted her to see for herself. I wanted her to paint her own picture of him. So now when she talk about him, she'd be like, you know, anytime I had plays or I had a track meet or I had a swim meet, like I look out to the crowd and I always see you, I always look for you, and he never there. Those are the things she talked about. She don't think about what he brought her or provided to her. I mean, you know, she does give her thanks to me for making sure those things are taken care of. And I'm sure if he did, she would thank him for that too. But the thing she talk about is his presence.
And Trini, you're so right. On the last show, I made a statement. I said I've been married 3 times. The first one left me because I couldn't cook. The second one left me because I wouldn't cook. And the third one just died. He just up and died.
From
But,
your cooking?
No,
From your cooking?
Yeah. And so,
y'all brutal.
The first one, while we were married, and I made this point on the last show, the whole time we were married, we got divorced when my daughter was 6, okay? But from 0 to 6, she was, wherever he went, that's where she was. She was with him the whole time. He taught her how to shoot pool at 6 years old. She could go in the pool room because that's where he hung out, at the pool room, and she could play pool. And they would put her on the stool. When we divorced, he divorced her. And what I realized when I realized what had happened, I had to make sure that she didn't develop any daddy issues behind that. Because I did the same thing, Trina. I never badmouthed him. On Christmas, I would put a present under the tree as if he bought it, just so she would not know he didn't come through, okay? I was the person that said, I don't care. You don't have to bring any presents, Mo. Make your presents to her, because that's what she was looking for, okay? But when I realized at about 11 or 12 that she was going through that thought process of wanting to have daddy issues, no, ma'am, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And so I kept working and working and talking and working, you know. And as a young adult, when she went off to college, she figured it out. Oh, it was you all the time that was carrying the load, not him. And so, you know, now even though they have a relationship, there's an emotional disconnect. When I say, you talk to your dad? Yeah, I talk to him, right. Whatever, you know, because there's no emotional connection for her because of that. Yep. Was he a provider? No. Could he have provided? Yes. But at the time he had his own issues, you know, and I tried to, you know, help him work through his issues. But like Trina said, you know, as the mother, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna be at all the basketball games. I'm gonna hug her when she cries. You know, I'm gonna hug my son when he cries. I'm gonna tell him it's okay to cry. So that present, like Mo was saying, the presence, CE, is more important than the present. And as a single parent, the second time around, after daddy decided he didn't want to be a daddy, you know, I found myself for a quick minute overcompensating for the daddy not showing up, for him not giving that emotional attachment to the kid. And like I said, just for a second, when I realized what I was doing, I was like, oh, stop, back up. Look at what you're doing. You are overcompensating for what he's not getting from his dad, okay? And so what do we want to create? Do we want to create, my grandson is 21 now, and I can remember them telling him, playing baseball and football, stop crying, don't cry, why are you crying? And they admonished him left and right. He shut down so far that now at 21, he is trying to figure out what's wrong with me. But because they kept telling him, and I kept telling him, stop telling him not to cry. He's feeling something. Find out what he's feeling. Find out what's going on in here so you'll know how to support it, you know. So the finances are good. We working together, like DB said, we working together. It's good. We making the money. But that emotional support that I'm here. What's up? What's going on? You know, we let them go in the room and close the door, and we never go in there and say, you all right? Everything all right? We let them come in and go in the refrigerator, and they come in and don't say
Hey, Roy,
anything.
can we take a break? I ain't getting nothing but static. I can hear nothing nobody's saying.
Huh?
Yes, sir. We can take a break, folks. We'll be back right after this message.
Remember what you...
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
we back.
I want to play just because.
We back live. So I got my crew back. I got my technical difficulty solved. So we're gonna get into it. And like I said, you know, this started with me and Mike going up things. And I ain't knocking the financial issue, but like I said, for men, and I can speak mostly for men because I talk to a lot of them. It was ingrained in us to be financial support systems and be providers. And I ain't knocking that. But did it make us great dads? Mo said something about, you know, in hindsight, Mo, when did you realize that you missed your dad's presence? At what age are you when it finally hit you that you had been missing out?
I think that kicked in around 8, when I was about 8, because I could see that the kids around my age knew certain things that I didn't know. I didn't understand why I didn't know them. You know, I found out later in life, but it's like missing, you know, you trying to build a house, man, and you missing like a piece of the structure and the house is gonna fall. You know, I was missing like critical building blocks of my childhood. And I could just tell you, you know, I made up for it later in life, but it wasn't fun and it took too damn long.
And the reason I wanted to do this show and I wanted Mike here especially is because I saw some of the comments up on this page, because we're gonna put up the post that started it all. And you know, there were some women who saying they prefer presence because in this century, in this day and age, the women can work. So for the most part, it ain't on the man to be the sole provider. And if that's what he chooses, there's nothing wrong with that. That just needs to be a discussion that they both have. And we have to talk more to the kids to make sure they have an understanding. You know, they're going to say what we want them to say. But, you know, it's like Trina hit me with something the other day and it made me feel bad. Zuri, our 7-year-old, she has been with me more than half her life now. But they went to get a shot. And she was looking for me to be there because I'm the one she wants to be around when she had a shot. I've been with her for every shot except for this one. You know why I went with her for this one? I was out making money. Trina was like, yeah, she was looking for you. And you know, and that's when they start hitting me. Yeah, you want to do the providing, but you got to take some time out of the providing sometimes to be there for them when they need you because they look for that. We don't want our kids to get to the point, as fathers especially, where they're used to not having us around. They're used to us not being around. So they don't look for us no more. You see them when they get big time, they on TV. They say, hey, mom. They know they got a daddy, but they used to him not being around, not seeing their events. And this is subconscious what happens to them. They speak to who they know is watching because we're out doing something else. And we can't keep saying we're great dads simply because we provide money. We got to say, to get that great title, we got to have a balance and do a multitude of things that can't just rely on money. Go ahead, Mike.
That's in a perfect world. In a perfect world.
Perfect. Stop playing, Mike.
In a perfect world, that father can be all you want him to be. He can. It's so many hats he got to wear. Now, he got to provide. And more likely, back then, my father, he had no college education and stuff like that. They was providers. They bring the money in. They had their food. They want to be by themselves. They go take a shower. Next day, the same thing, on and on and on. It's like a revolving door. And they had everything. They provide for everything. And that's what it was. Now it's now the emotions need to be realigned. Now the black man got to be sit down. He got to be able to talk to the kids. He got to be able to get to the school. He got to be able to nurture the kids. He got to be able to cook. He want everything. The woman say, oh, I want to go out and work. Now you need to do all this now. Now he got to do, and you want him to be that. And some of them can't be that. Some men can only provide. It's not going to be a balance with them. They ain't. It's not going to happen. Now, in some incident, you're going to have that. But in most of the incident, I'm sorry. But let me say this.
Because we learn that way.
Let me say this.
Because we learn that way. That's the way we learn.
Right. It's a top behavior. You're right.
Yeah, it's a top behavior.
But then we can't say we're a great dad then. We got to go back to I was a great provider.
No. See, back then, that's a great dad.
Yeah, but we ain't talking about back then, Mike, we talking about with us right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Now today.
Trina can work right now. Deb can work. Mo, does your wife work? We don't have to be the sole financial providers now. We don't have to. So we can't just sit back and say we don't want to do the other stuff. We want to stick to one aspect, and that's the one aspect that's going to make us great. Mike, you said it, balance. We're helpmmates. We're a partnership. We're a partnership now.
And not only do you not have to be the sole providers, in the majority of our households, you're not anyway. The Black man is not the sole provider in the majority of Black households. He's not. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I know we done seen a whole bunch of them, but he's not the sole provider. In your household, you're one person. One person.
Here's what I'm saying. We have this so-called thing now. When some women think, and I believe in equal rights right across the board, everybody sharing. But when you try to throw it in my face that, oh, I can do what you do, I can, and this I can do that too. I don't need you. Then the man have to stand up, because a man is a man.
Mike, what do we start off the show? Mike, what do we start the show off? So if that's what she says, why are you with her then? She's competing.
Right. You absolutely right.
So then that's a hit we got to take, because we picked a woman who don't want to be part of the team. That means we got to take that. So when you find a woman who is complimentary, then why ain't we letting the balancing that take place? See, and we can deal with extremes, but we're talking about when people are working together in this balanced thing. Nowadays, me and Trina had this discussion. Professionally, I can make more than she can, but Trina want to have her own money. So Trina still works. Trina can take care of certain things. If I stop working, if I needed for Trina to pick up one, she could, because I could do something. But if I'm gonna say this is all I'm gonna do, then I'm neglecting my daughter who wants me to be there when she get a shot, to take away her fear. She loves her mama, but her mama don't take away her feel when it's time to get a shot. Darren does that. Darren does that. So when she got to get these shots to go to school, she don't care about her mama being there. She don't want to go with her mama. She want to go with the guy who she can hold and sit in his lap and hug me tight. Am I gonna say, no, babe, I need to go make another 75? For real? So I'm neglecting her for this. 30, 40 years ago, she would have never got me there to experience that in the first place because I was doing what they did. So now in the 21st century, we got to adapt to that. Yeah. We got to adapt. And that's all I'm saying is, Mo, does your wife work?
No, she's retired.
Okay, let me see, get a check. So, but she did work, unless she couldn't retire. And that's what I'm saying. We know better now. So as we know better, what know better, do better. We have to give our kids the emotional support. Too many boys are growing up thinking that the man ain't needed. As the thing said, we get used to seeing our mother do so much. We don't never see our dad at work. We know he may be doing something, and then it goes on from there because we're not telling them, we're not around to hug them or have these conversations with them. You know, I talked to my son about sex. His mama had an attitude, but I didn't care. We got to give them this personal presence, CE. We have to. Other than that, what do they say about the elephants? Why are elephants so destructive now? Because poachers are killing off all the male elephants, that the young boy elephants don't know what they're supposed to do because poachers are killing off the men. And that's what's happening to our generation. So many of us are absent doing other things that we think are necessary because we don't want to cross that bridge. Our boys are missing out on something. They're missing out. And then we will get mad and blame women for what they're teaching boys. But why do women teaching boys this? Because we always out working. We ain't never taken out that time that we know. Because would we not agree that today's young boy is off the chain? Why is that? Why is that? Who was around? Oh, his mama didn't teach him this. Okay, so why did dad didn't take off and teach something? See, and that's why I said we can't keep playing this battle of the sexes. At some point, we got to look at where we messed up the system. Moses said, hey, he knew his dad, he wanted his dad around.
Let me tell you,
go ahead.
I told my husband when my son was, he must have been like 13. And I made this statement to him. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever he turns out to be will be just as much your fault as it is mine. Good, bad, or indifferent. And by that I meant I know the components that I bring to the table. I know the components that I'm gonna be able to contribute. Yes, Daddy, you are a provider. And he provided. So my husband, Mo, was the person that after he got to be 12 and 13 was the one that bought the presents and not the presents. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say to him, stop that, because he's going to assume from this point forward that whatever comes out of his mouth that he wants or he says he asks for, that you're going to provide. That's not what he needs. He needs the discipline. He needs you to show up and show out, whatever that looks like for you, Daddy. That's what he needs. But he kept wanting to bring the presents. Okay. And so and this was an ongoing conversation. Whatever he turns out to be, it's going to be just as much your fault as it is mine. I'm doing my part. What are you doing? Okay. He didn't need we had the roof over our head. We had utilities were on. We got groceries in the house because this is a dual working family. Okay. He needs you to show up man to man and give him what me as a female, as a mama, because I'm nurturing, I'm tough. Okay. I know how to beat down. I know how, I got all the defensive tactics move, but he needs you to show up, Daddy. Okay. As that male that says, this is what you need. This is what we need. But he never had it. So it was difficult for him to even give it.
Right.
And I realized it took me a long time, but I realized that because he never had it. When I listened to him talk about the relationship he had with his dad, I saw that he did not have the skills to be able to do that.
And that was one of the things that, what is your name, Mike? Is that what it is? Because I see real tailgate. But that was one of the things I did want to address about what you said.
My real name is Bond.
Bonnie.
James Bond.
Oh, all right,
Don't pay
all right,
attention.
Bond. But that was one of the things I wanted to address that you said. You were saying that back in the days, you was like they didn't need that. You was like, now boys need this. Now, no, not now they need it. They always needed, which is why there's so many men who can't pass down, the it's okay to cry. It's okay. You can't pass it down because you never had it either. And then the generation before never had it, and the generation before never had it. So it's not that they need it now. Y'all always needed it. You just didn't have it. And now we live in a society where you can give that good balance, because you're not the only one working. Like I said, maybe in your household, but in today's society, for the most part, most Black households are not being solely provided for by the man anymore. So he got a little bit more time. I was saying, he don't got to go bust his ass 60, 70, 80 hours a week. He don't have to do that. He got time where he can spend time with his kids and he can make that emotional connection. And it's like, we do it. We got to do it all of it.
And this is why I don't want to get guys to be confused. And this is why I wanted to go with you, Mike. I ain't saying he ain't a good dad. He just can't be a great dad if all he's doing is financial support. He's doing the best he can what he know how. And we got to get past letting it be our response to everything. Because there are times in this informational age that we have to step up and do what Mo said. Because I did the same thing. Reflect on what we missed. What we missed from that guy not being present. And let's not reflect on what our mom had to do because he wasn't there and blame her. My mama didn't do a lot of stuff. But my mom, like most women, didn't volunteer to be a single parent. So as we're looking at the system and these generational curses that are being passed on, do I blame my mom because she didn't show me how to do things? Or do I look at that guy who, he was just a shitbag, but if he was like most good dads, he was working and providing. But I still missed that touch. Nobody told me how to deal with these feelings I'm going, because a woman don't understand these feelings, so she can't tell me. And truth be told, I'm probably uncomfortable asking her about it. So to hit that great status, we got to take another step. We got to take that another step. To be the best, you got to be the best. You can't just sit back and do what they did yesterday. But I ain't knocking him being a good dad. I can't make him be a great dad if he ain't providing the emotional need. Because we all need that.
What I think of when I see a lot of people doing all kind of crazy crap for their kids, and I just want to give my kids the things I didn't have. And okay, so how about we give them that emotional support that we didn't have? How about we give them that time that we didn't have? Those times to read a book or whatever. Those are the things that we need to be filling in the gaps of what we didn't have, not the things, the monetary things.
I think that
the birthday bus at 8 years old.
That's a whole nother show.
I think it's important. I coached high school football for 15 years in Douglasville. All right. And my wife and I did different things for the athletic department. So I saw different things. I saw the parents coming to the field. I saw the dad being there on the field, and those same kids understand they're grown now. And I saw the ones that had problems with the kids. The one they was coming to the game. The father and mother was there. They still had all these problems with the kid. They showed them everything. So I think it's the individual kids that may need that special outreach and touch. Some kids are built different, but I think that he providing, even though you're going to get the shot. You took off of work for no pay. You ain't getting no pay to sit there. You say, I want to be there for my daughter. She get a shot. Okay. But when you get back home, you can be sitting in the dark. So which one you want? You want dark?
For $75, we sit.
You're not gonna sit in the dark because you're not gonna let the lights get cut off.
Hold on, ladies.
You're not gonna sit in the dark.
Hold on, ladies.
Because you're not gonna let that happen. You're not gonna let the lights get cut off, the water get cut off, the gas get cut off.
If me taking off work gonna get the lights cut off, that mean I was already a shitter provider.
Period.
So you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways because I bet Mo, I bet Doug, hell, I bet Mike all got some money for an emergency, because that's what a good provider, you prepare for that. So no, if me taking off one day is gonna provide that, then I can't even be a good, I can't even be a good provider now. I can't even.
You ain't a good nothing.
Trina can tell you the first time she was down here and the lights got cut off, I was pissed. It was a Greystone problem. It wasn't mine, because I'm like, I know I done paid this. I don't want her coming down here thinking that I can't pay my bills. But Greystone sent a little thing saying they had a power outage. So yeah, if that's what you worried about, then you'll shit the provider. You'll even shit your parent, because you ain't prepared your kids for nothing. See, so we can't use that extreme and try to put us in a good category.
And you're horrible money management.
So, but and like I said, it's because 9 times out of 10, it's the father who does this. But I don't want this to be a battle of the sexes, because we talk about toxic mothers, and they are what they are. But again, who picked this woman to have their children? So as a man, you got to bite some of that. I didn't know. Well, shit.
No, that toxic was there. You knew.
So, if you
might
don't
not have been nodding, but
there, you've been like, what's the when you say ignorance? Ignorance is no excuse. Ignorance is no. You should have paid more attention before you decided to do this. So when we stepping up, and like I said, we're gonna go to the great spouse next, because part of being a great parent, and this is what we're gonna lead into with the great spouse, is this conversation.
Hey, DVP, hold on a second.
Go ahead,
I got
sorry.
something. That's okay. Before you transition, I just want to say this one thing I think is kind of important, and I just want to shine a light on it. And my thing is, I think the whole village, when it comes to our kids, I think the whole village is responsible. And the reason why I say that is because, when you're raising children, if you look at the different cultures, what you'll find is that there's kind of a rite of passage already in place for those kids. We had it back in the old days of Africa before we transitioned over here to America. It's gone. There's nothing for little black boys and little black girls. But if you look, you got the quinceañera for the little Mexican boy and girl. You got the Boy Scouts for little white boy and girl. Where the hell is the transitional program for little black kids? I've been looking.
Look in the chat for that party bus. That's the transition that we give.
Fulton County used to. A couple of years ago, I'm not sure if they still have that program, but Fulton County had a rites of passage program in place to help with that transition.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I've been away from Fulton County for a long time now. I don't know, but it was a rites of passage for kids in like 12 to 15 year age group that would help them with that transition. But here's the thing. Darren, I said this after we got off the last show. I kept thinking, I said, we did a Million Man March. I said, I need 100 men. I just need 100. I just need 100 men to show up at whatever location and say, we're here as a supportive network. They did it at a school in Alabama when they had all the fighting down there. Our kids that look like us are emotionally disconnected. Our kids that look like us have emotional problems that some of us parents contribute to, add to, create. And then we want to send them to school and say, well, that's the school's problem, because whatever happened, it happened in school. No, ma'am. No, sir. It happened at home. Okay. Every client that I deal with, except for one right now, except for one out of the 35 kids that I have right now, all of them, it is because the mother has instigated the treatment, not the father. I got one, and today was the first day I met with him. Okay. I got a kid whose father is an African descent. Okay. And in his culture, men don't cry. They don't have emotions. You don't feel nothing. You be a provider and you just keep moving. And this kid is learning, he and I are working together to teach him how to express himself, not only to his peers, his mom, but to his dad. He is literally terrified. He is shut down of not having a conversation with him. He'll go to his dad's house and spend the whole weekend and will not say a word to his dad unless his dad said something to him. Because his dad has said to him, men don't do emotions. You're not supposed to have any feelings. Well, if somebody steps on your toe or you get hit in the head, you're not supposed to feel anything. Come on now.
It's like,
what are we doing?
It's like we have for, generations consistently erased, or at least tried to erase, the humanity out of our boys. Like they are human. They feel emotions. If they weren't supposed to, then they wouldn't.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking loud.
Can I just say one thing? I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me just say this: we got to go all the way back, because all the way back from when our ancestors was brought over here, and all the tragedy that they went through. All that's embedded in our DNA. That's the same women and men. It's embedded in our DNA, and we all need treatment. We all need to sit down with somebody. We all need to know how to communicate, because we don't know how to communicate.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you get ready to write a sentence about something that happened in the past, are you going to start your sentence with what happened in the past, or are you going to start your sentence from where you are now?
Well, what is the sentence supposed to be about?
Something that happened in the past.
Where you are now, where we are now. In the here and now, where we are now. Because you are right, you are 100% right. We have so much trauma in our history. We have a lot of stuff in our history. You were taught to be the provider, or you made that decision based on either what you did have or what you did not have. I'm not gonna repeat that. Right. So Darren made the statement, we can go back all day long. But we are here in the here and now, and we need to be moving forward.
That's right.
We need to be moving. How do we move that way? How do we go up 285, 75, 85, whichever direction?
Everybody else,
rather than going.
Every other race moved back to heal. Every race.
Let
the
me
Jews, the whites,
let me ask you this, Mike.
All of them move back to heal.
Let me ask you this.
We the owner race. We the owner race. Oh, y'all need to get by your bootstraps. You need to do it now. You need to do that. They don't never go back with us.
Mike, so when we all have kids, and this is why I hate that argument. Do we tell them to start back at slavery and they ain't gonna never have shit? So if we don't preach that to them because we know it ain't true, why do we use it for an excuse? We don't tell them that they got limitations. We don't tell them that. But as soon as we got to step up, we start talking about the generational curses. It's upon us if we're going to be great fathers, great spouses, to break these generational curses, because we recognize them. So now we got a choice. Do we follow them or do we reset the pattern? See, all of y'all could have chose to be drug dealers. A guy made this point and I couldn't agree with him more. When we grew up, it was easy to join the military. So if you didn't have no skills, you could be a drug dealer or you could join the military. If you became a drug dealer, it was because you wanted to wreck your community, because you didn't have to be smart to get in the military and get a job and not commit genocide. That was a personal choice that didn't have nothing to do with the government, because the government wanted us. So we made choices, and then we blame people for them choices, as opposed to saying, you know what, you're right, I was a shitty dude. Oh, I didn't want to work for the white man, but according to us, we got all our drugs from the white man. So we can't keep being victims and kings and master manipulators and want credit for it and then want somebody to feel sorry for us. Mo is a black man, been married 1,000 years. Why didn't he fall victim to the system? Doug, one of the smartest brothers I know, why didn't he fall victim to the system? He went to Atlanta Public School. He got the same general curses that we all had. At some point, we can't keep using that same excuse Ain't none of us never felt slavery. None of us. But we keep talking about it. It's a generational curse. In my DNA, I don't know what it's like to be whipped. I can't even grasp that concept of somebody hitting me with a bullwhip. So, but when I want to use for his truth,
you feeling the effects from it.
No,
you wasn't there, but you feeling the effects from it.
How?
Listen to me. I'm saying if you go back, and I'm not talking about I don't believe in curse and all that stuff. I believe in you go get it, you earn it, you go take what you want. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that every Black person may need to sit down with somebody and talk about their feelings, because we all they started from day one when we was brought over here. We never been fixed. We broken. And only thing I'm saying is, as far as you saying that father speaking to that son away, that mother, you see what I'm saying? You had that broken home. We're the only race that's been like that, bro. We the only
we ain't.
I
We the only
definitely
ones
don't
who
disagree.
say that. When I had a white guy on the show, he told me some of the things that white people doing. See, we don't know these people, so we assume they don't know these things. But we know people in the trailer park. All white people ain't got it great. But when we want to make excuses, we make it seem like we struggle the most and we don't get over stuff. Most people don't. But you can't make a change until you acknowledge the fact that something is wrong. See, everybody can go sit on the couch, but if you ain't ready to accept what is given, when you and your wife have a problem, when Mo and his wife have a problem, when Doug and his wife, when me and Trina have problems, if we ain't willing to accept that there's a problem, the problem will never be fixed. And I can't fix it because my great granddad never let his wife say something. See, that's an excuse that we build because we done all got through shit. How do we get through it with all these generational curses? Because we wanted to break them. We didn't keep wanting to make excuses. And you know what is hard to do? Change is hard. Excuses are easy. When you want to, Mo, why you write a book? Because I'm sure you heard how hard it was going to be. Black people don't write books. Black people don't read books. Ain't nobody going to buy your book. Ain't nobody going to do this. He could have took all that and just said, you know what, you're right. I ain't finna deal with these black. I ain't even finna write no book because ain't nobody going to read it. Ain't nobody going to publish.
Let me ask you something. How do you get a father to reach out to his kid? He haven't reached out to show that emotional side. How you do that?
Again, Mike, if it ain't in him, I'm cool with that. He just can't try to push the title of great father. We all got limitations at something. And I've told Trina before.
I'm just
Trina,
saying,
you know what? You can't, if you don't want to accept
you start by acknowledging.
But you start if you don't want to accept it, it ain't gonna never happen. When I asked Mo,
you start by acknowledging that.
When I asked Mo to be on the show, and I talked, because I have disagreed with some things that Mo said, because Mo gives me something else to think about. But if I ain't open to what he's saying, it's a waste of my time. But I'm open to what he's saying, whether I agree with it or not. I gotta listen to it. Mo has said some things that have affected me to make me make some changes because I listened to an outsider, because I wasn't doing great by myself. So you gotta be open to change for change to take place. And Mo can tell you, we ain't had this conversation. We don't talk to people who ain't hearing nothing you got to say. You can't make them be better. They are at their limit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to know when to walk away and go to somebody else. But for those that want to know better and do better, when a man say, oh, how do I be a great dad? Oh, well, just keep paying bills. No. Ask your wife, ask the other parent, how do we do this? Ask your child. What would you like me to do more of? Would you like daddy to come to some games sometimes? Would you like daddy to go? Would you like? And if he say yeah, embrace it. Don't sit back and say, oh, I was just playing. I can't come because I got to work. No, you put in another excuse. So then he get used to you not being around and he thinks it's the norm. So we pass on this generational curse over and over and over. And then we blame
my second husband was a provider.
People.
He was a provider. He went to work every day.
So I agree with you that we all need to sit on somebody's couch. I 100% agree with you about that. However, are we frozen? Because Darren looked frozen.
I wasn't moving. No, I'm
still here. I'm still here.
Okay. However, if we're being realistic, if you were to sit on somebody's couch, if I was to sit on somebody's couch right now and start talking about things, I ain't gonna talk about no damn slavery. Let's keep it real. I'm talking about my childhood. I'm talking about things that I experienced, about things that happened to me. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, they used to whip Harriet Tubman. I wasn't there. Listen. I'm not talking about that. So sitting on somebody's couch and having the generational curses, I mean, I sort of kind of understand where you're coming from with that, but when we need to talk out our problems and we need to get to the root of what is wrong with us personally, it don't really have nothing to do with slavery. It really don't. It has to do with how we were raised, our household, our neighborhoods. That's what it has to do with.
Look at that house you got, Mike. Look at that house. I'm gonna let you talk after me, Mo. Look at that house you got. What white man did you ask that hey, can you please say it's okay? Other than applying for a loan, you start working and build that shit. You didn't rob nobody. You didn't go pick cotton. You did what you had to do because you had a woman that you wanted to be successful with. You didn't let none of these generational curses hold you back. Not now one. And even though you and her went through some shit, you kept struggling till y'all got these 35,000 years in, and you got Batman looking over your shoulder. Mo, go ahead and tell me what you got.
I was just gonna say, I think big key to what we're trying to resolve or what needs to be resolved, it exists with how we prepare our children, the people that's coming behind us. And I think the way I like to say it is the village is responsible, because if you think about it, these are some of the things, this discussion here, I think about this all the time. And what I'm trying to figure out is why do Mexicans have something called a quinceañera, where at 16, the females go through a rite of passage? How come the white folks have Boy Scouts? Boy Scouts is a training platform for white people from 8 to 16. Where the hell is the training platform for little black boys?
It's because they never lost their culture. We lost ours.
Is that well, true, but they have those platforms that allow them to even grow in that space that they never even were deficient in. And I'm saying little black boys and little black girls, we don't have those rite of passages. We had them in Africa. There was a rite of passage in Africa.
So
we don't have
them back, Mo. What we gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, we got to start programs. I mean, look at boys. They got boys. I don't really know. I can't tell you the answer to that, but I will know. What I can tell you is that it's missing, because I'm looking for it. Where do little black boys go for advice? Where's the people that are in charge of passing that information down? Where do little black girls go?
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Problems all day, all day long. Every single one of us and every single one of us on this earth and this whole race can come up with problems. Where the solutions at, though? But
like Dale said, and I'm gonna put these four brothers on the spot, not you, Mo, because you out of state. But you said you're looking for 100 black men. Dale, let me know. Doug got some friends. Mike got some friends. Roy got some friends. We want these black boys to be better. So the next time you need 100 black men, you let us know. I'm sure between the four of us, we can find 100 black men who are about some business, who want to see us get better. And this is what we got to start doing. And it's one of the things I told Trina. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own world when we get older that we don't have time to get to the community no more. So we don't have time to uplift our own village. And it's because we taking care of family. But you got to remember, sometimes taking care of families, make sure that village around them is safe. You know, it's crazy that a lot of us live in places where we don't know our neighbors by name. We can't call them. If something's going wrong, you know, we're not even looking out for each other. There was a crime spree one time, and these people were robbing their neighbors in front of everybody. They ain't think nothing about it. They didn't even know to call them because they don't talk to each other. Oh yeah, I saw them people. I thought it was a moving truck. I thought you was moving. You don't even know your neighbors. These guys breaking into people's house with a moving truck in uniform. The neighbors don't talk.
Not only do they not talk, but they got this "I'm a mind my own business" thing. You know, it's like we got.
You know, I am of the school. See something, say something. My neighbors call me the mayor of my subdivision, and I am not. But what I see in my subdivision, like 36 houses, I say something. And out of 36 houses, I probably have the numbers of 16 of the the residents in the subdivision. And I will send them a text message. I am not the mayor. I am the person that says, I see something, I'm going to say something. And so, Darren, I am going to work on that. That is on my agenda. Because the last time we had this conversation, you know, when we disconnected, I said 100. I don't need 1,000. We don't need 1,000. We just need 100 to commit to being able to a lot of my kids that I work with are from like Farrell High School, Douglas High School. They're even from middle school, and I'm looking at the middle school and I'm saying, dang, Hirsch, you're 12 years old. What the hell? And the school that I'm referring to is an alternative school. So that means that whatever happened in their home school, they have been expelled into their alternative school. But dang, what happened? I got a referral the other day for two siblings. So that meant whatever the one sibling got into, the other sibling said, I'm gonna get in too. So Mo, I agree with you. We are the village. We have to I grew up in the village. The village was hell for me. But the village made me part of who I am today. And so I'm gonna put together that 100 men process, that 100 men, what we need to do. And I need each one of you who want to participate to say, let's address this, let's address that, let's address this, let's address that. Let's talk about this, okay? I got a kid that you're being accused of sexually assaulting someone. Jay Morgan, who used to be the DA in DeKalb, put out a book years ago. And I used it in training my kids at my other school when I was a resource officer. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, okay? We have to train our children. And part of that, Mike, is what's going on with you emotionally? What happened to you? Not what's wrong with you. What happened to you? What happened to you to the point that you are now, you think it's okay for you to go up there and slap a teacher on the back of the head, and I like the teacher. It's okay for you to throw a book at the bus driver's head, because I don't know, I just threw the book at the bus driver's head. Things like that. And all of those are about the emotional disconnect that our kids don't have. So Darren, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on this 100 men.
I done volunteered you four guys, like I said, because we can debate this. And I like Mike. And I know Mike want to help. And Mike said something when he was talking about being a coach. And I've coached before. And anybody who's a coach knows that we get some of these boys, they adopt us as fathers. And you know why? It's because the presence thing, that presence. We ain't giving them no money. We're giving them time, and we're talking to them. That is probably one of the most the resources that we don't put enough value on, because we were taught to value money. We were taught to value money.
Let me just say that, and I commend you. I don't see your name on it. It's just got
that's Dr. Dale.
Dr. Dale, let me commend you. Let me just say this, give you a little background. Here in Douglasville, my wife and I, we ran in the summertime, Stop the Violence, Start Your Future. And what this was with the Deer Lick Park, we teamed up with Deer Lick Park here in Douglasville. And we had like football camps for the kids, middle school to high school. And being a coach at Lithia Springs and Chapel Hill High School, I've seen, and we reached out and helped kids that couldn't afford to pay the fee. We did fundraiser for them. So I got to know them, their parents, and we got to understand. And we did so much and still do a lot for the community. So when it comes to outreach and understanding the mindset of some of the young kids, you got to understand they're in pressure to compete with each other. They're in pressure to do things to get attention. And every kid is different. Every kid is different. You have to sit down with each individual kid and at a whole, see what's ticking. He might not have no money. Me and my wife don't put money together and went and bought the food for kids and took to their houses. Picked up kids as far as we did Little League at Mount Carmel Rams. That park closed down. We should take kids, pick them up. I got a little school bus, borrowed a school bus from a friend of mine who had bought one. We used to go pick them up. So for 27 years, we've been reaching out to the community and helping the community, and we had good response. Finding the 100 Black men, you can do it. You can do it. It's just, I've been doing it. My wife been doing it so long that, sometimes the steam run out. All jokes aside, in a society, what he's saying that what you guys saying is a father, it has to be balanced. But guess what? I was working 2 jobs. We had the landscaping. I'm running that. I got guys on. I'm working for the city of Atlanta. I retired from them for 31 years. I'm running that. You know what I'm saying? So my kids going to school. I'm working at night, running the business. So, I would see them, and she was like, well, you need to spend time with them. You need to. So then I started going to the school, to the little country little thing. My son, about only a few Blacks that was in the school. He do a little country. And my daughter, I pick her from ballet. So I had to break down because it wasn't, I didn't learn that. I didn't learn it at home. When I saw my stepfather working his ass off, and my dad was locked up for the whole time. But I did see stepfather, and I did get my butt whipped by some of them. But to have that hug or how you doing school, no, I never got that. But yeah, I tell my sons right now, they grown. One of them, he's 34. Other son, he'll be 30. He's 31. My daughter's 27. And I say, I love you. Blah blah blah. I do all that, all mushy stuff. And we had those conversations when you upset, both you upset, and you still talk. You still talk it out. So we had the drugs talk, the alcohol talk, all of that. So I understand. And a lot of parents ask me to talk to their kids, to do, Mr. Hall, Coach Hall, can you do this? Can you talk to me? Can you do this? And then the kids that graduated, that didn't go to college or came back from college, they worked as far as the landscaping. And I got kids, they grown, they gone on. I'm just saying that to say what you're trying to do, what you're doing, I commend you. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of ups and downs, but you true to it and pray on it. And God will bless you and open it. And if I can help, I'll help.
You got volunteer. But Mike, listen to what you just did. You raised the bar for every man around. You took care of your family. You coached. You took care of other people's kids. So how can one man say that work took all his time? You just made the bar almost unpassable. Mike, you listen to what you just said you did. Listen to what you said you did. So how can another man say, oh, he got time for his work?
Because guess what? I did the same thing you did as a mama. I have coached T-ball, Little League, Pop Warner football, basketball, baseball. When I stopped coaching baseball, you know the reason I started coaching baseball? Because when my son, when they got ready to go to Major League, they needed somebody with testosterone. They didn't need somebody with hormones. Okay? Because I was ready. At that age, you know what that age is, playing baseball. My reaction was to bust one in the chest. Who you talking to? And so I stepped down as a coach when they went to Major League. My son, the whole from Little League, from T-ball all the way up to Major League. So I commend you. I commend you and your wife.
It ain't that hard to do. We just can't keep falling back with excuses. And what's the little thing? What's our little go-to line? We make time for things that are important. When in our kids, the most important thing going. We can make time. And like I say, Mike, you just made the bar so high and made it sound so easy. You had 12 jobs, 3 kids, a wife, and you coach. Bro, stop that. So what man can use the excuse that he got to work to pay bills, or if he take a day off, the light's gonna cut off? How can he even put a G in front of any of his name? He's a shitty person. He ain't a good dad. He ain't a good provider. He ain't a good spouse. He ain't a good nothing.
Right.
Because it's on us.
Let me say this.
It sounded like you just, you just work, and that was it. And, you weren't able to be there for emotionally for your
Yeah,
kids,
Trina.
but you are a pillar of the community. Like you are an absolutely great man.
Trina.
A great
Trina.
man.
Yeah.
My whole check went straight to my wife's account. I ain't see even today my whole check still goes straight to my wife.
That's because she know
She
you
knows what to
shaded.
do.
No, she know he's shaded. But Mo, come and give
That's
us a
the
recap of all that.
longevity that you were telling us about.
I told my wife, I said, look, I'm retired. I want my check to come to me now.
Yeah, she gonna give you allowance. But
You get some of it.
Mo, give me some wrap up of the way he just said and how it ain't that hard for a man to step up and truly be a great father and a great provider while doing the financial stuff and giving us stability. Because this is what you do, Mo. This is what I wanted you, because I told you you're supposed to moderate this.
Well, so I had something on my mind, so I got to say that first, and then I'll see if I can answer your question. But I wanted to just reply to what Dr. Dale said, where we was talking about ignorance of the law is no excuse. The only thing I want to add to that is what the young men or females should be saying is, teach me before I do something stupid.
Stupid. Yes.
Yeah, teach me before I do something stupid.
Yes.
Because like you said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay, fine. But teach me.
Yeah.
We got to put that in place so that way they don't have to look for an excuse.
Yeah. I work with kids. I worked with a organization that kids experiencing homelessness from 18 to 24. The kid turned 18 and the parents said, you got to get the hell up out of here. You got to get out. You got to get out. Mama got a new boyfriend. I'm just giving examples. Mama got a new boyfriend. Mama got a new girlfriend, whatever. You got to get out. 18 to 24. But you put them out and you have not taught them anything about how to survive in this world. You have not taught them anything about how to live as an adult. And I was flabbergasted.
So
let me, for me, that's in my mind, that is, you failed as a parent, because I say all the time, my job as a mom is to prepare my children for the world, because I'm not always going to be here and they are going to go out into the world. That's my job. That is my obligation to having these kids. So if you don't prepare your kids and you just say you failed, I don't give a damn what you bought them. I don't care how many books you read. If they are not equipped to go out into the world and to some degree be able to live on their own, you failed.
Yeah. And as Mo said, it's not about the present, it's about the presence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to remember that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm going to keep that, but I hope I'm going to use it, by the way.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. And I think if we came up as a group of individuals, if we came up with 2 points to address, so it's 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Hold on, Dale, before you get
10 points.
Hold on, before you get that, let Mo finish his first thought before you get into the 10 points.
Oh man, it might be too late, DVP. You know how my memory works, but let me see. Might be too late, brother. Let me see.
It's not too late.
I forgot what I was gonna say, I think, but go ahead. And if it comes up, I'll ask for the floor. Go ahead.
Well, we was talking about all the things that Mike did and how we got to step up to get these, wrap it up so that we can't keep looking at it as unattainable or blaming the past. Because if we want it to happen, I'm sorry, because we need it to happen. We got to start making it happen. We can't keep waiting back. Doug is super quiet, but I know he got stuff, and that's why I put him on here. Doug, and I ain't gonna put him out there like that, but Doug was one of those guys who I know had a great job and was financially stable to do stuff. And I'm watching his page, and I see him taking pictures with his daughters at the events, which is part of why I wanted him to come here. Money is a great thing to have, but presence is more important, because they're gonna appreciate you sending them to school. But they love when you show up at their graduation. They love when you show up at stuff and they can touch you and get that hug and that love. That's what's important. And Mike sat there and devalidated his whole crazy argument in front when he started talking about all the great shit he did and all the things he put to the side.
He's still a good father.
You're a great man and a great man. Don't forget that. Say that when you talk about yourself. It's okay to pat yourself on the back and up.
No, I was saying that the guy who worked all the time could still be a good.
I ain't say he couldn't. I say he can't be a great because he ain't doing everything it takes. We can't keep giving out. We can't keep giving out participation trophies. But right, if he
can't be the GOAT. Okay, I got it.
I ain't gonna knock our parents.
Can you let Mo finish, please?
Well, Mo writing his nose down.
Go ahead, man. Y'all good. You can't be the GOAT.
Doug, tell me how you found time. Because I know what kind of job you had, but you still found a way to make time. Even as Deb said, even after the divorce, you still in your kids' life. You stayed in there.
Yeah, I mean, you always can make the time for the things that you want to make time for. There's no question about that. And it's all about priority and recognizing what's important and setting those goals and going to do it, make it happen.
Did your lights get cut off while you was doing that, dude?
They did not. I had light fading.
And you know, it sucks at 7:45, so we don't get the other one. But like I said, I ain't gonna knock no dad who can't do everything. Just stop expecting people to pat you on the back for doing what, you know, when a man say, "Oh, I pay the rent." Well, you need to live somewhere too, so you was gonna pay the rent. So was that for the child? Of course it wasn't. When I got groceries, well, you got to eat too. So what is it that take you to that next level where you are doing something for others that you wouldn't actually do for you?
Yeah, and let me just add this.
Hold on, let Mo talk. He got it.
I remember. That's gone. Y'all can forget that. But I remember something here. Is the point I want to make was, you know, is that, you know, you got to look at progress. You got to look at progress on a definitive time frame. You know, with these companies, they look at year to year progress, right? So if we say, listen, this year I did better than I did last year, that counts. That counts, man, because you did something positive that helped you grow, that helped somebody move in the right direction. So let's stop looking at it. You know, if you look, you know, we sit here looking at, I'm sorry, I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing, let me see if I make a good guess. 45.
I'm 21.
No, okay, you 21, so you ain't helping me. But Doug, how old are you?
56.
56. Okay, 56. Okay, so and then I'm sorry, you don't have your name up there. It says Real Tailgaters. What's
Mike?
his name?
Oh yeah.
Mike, how old are you?
53.
Yeah, he a baby.
So you know, you know your progress. You got to look at your. I would look at your progress on a year-to-year basis instead of saying, you know, I didn't get all this accomplished. I didn't do all this. But year to year, you made the right decisions and you ended up going the right direction. Mm-hmm. That's what we got to look at. Are we headed the right? We might not. I mean, because I tell you, just on a personal basis, man, I want to accomplish the world. I want to do so much. I could sit here and say, you know, I failed. But when I look back and I look at my progress from year to year from a certain point, I was headed in the right direction and I got somewhere positive. And I think we got to start thinking that way instead of assessing our whole life, because it ain't over yet too either.
All right, so let me grab Trina and Deb right quick. Deb said how many kids you got, Deb? As we get in the tour of the house.
I don't even know.
Okay. So I have 2 that I birthed.
Okay.
And I have 3 that became my foster kids.
Okay.
Because of issues within their homes and they didn't go through the foster program. They just end up moving into my house with me. One was during the time that actually 4.
I don't want you to explain. I just have another question.
During the time that my son was in high school, and the other 2 came much later.
So what did you need from the man in your life to be a better parent for them? What did you need? What do you think the kids needed that you would, if he would have asked you, what would you have told him?
They needed that emotional support. They needed that emotional support. The emotional support that they got, including my own son, was from me. And so I have a tendency to think like a man, a tendency. And so my perspective came from both from both ends on the emotional standpoint. I'm not a crier. I don't wear my feelings on my sleeves. I'm not, I think I have a pretty good handle on my emotions, but I knew they needed both perspectives. I knew all of them needed both perspectives, especially my foster kids. And so as a result of it, I talked to them about, what are you feeling? What are you feeling? How are you feeling? What's going on? Why are you feeling this way? Let's talk about why you're feeling this way. Okay. And even as and at one point, I was a married woman that operated as a single parent, if that makes any sense. Because my husband was a provider, but he was not he did not have the emotional component of it. So a lot of times I felt like a married single parent. Okay. And so being able to say,
emotional with you or the kids?
Rather than saying I'm pissed off, being able to address, why are you pissed off? The feeling behind it. Being able to say, I'm hurt. I am literally hurt. My feelings are hurt. And not just keep moving as if nothing is wrong and all you have is a look on your face and avoidance. So those were the kind of the things that I needed and wanted.
Trina, I know you got two girls and they're both different. What would you have requested more from their fathers as far as being in their life?
Break. You said two things, a break.
No, it's for them to be better fathers.
For them to be better fathers, more time. The same thing that did need. But I know you were talking about parents, but it's like we're neglecting the mothers too. I don't know if you noticed that, but
because then it becomes a battle of the sexes. That's why I didn't want to.
It's not about. I'm not talking about a battle of sexes. Right now, I'm talking about the child. I'm talking about the child. Without me getting a break, I'm a shitty mom. You know what I mean? So it's great to talk about the father, but damn, if at the end of the day we're talking about the child, we have to talk about both parents. In this show, we really just talked about the men. I've been shitty mom because I don't get a break. I don't get a freaking break ever. So I'm exhausted. I'm tired. So from him, a break. I can't tell him how to be a good dad. Just give me a damn break. Just give me a damn break. And connect with them emotionally, but give me a break.
And what did you do when you did not get that break?
Anger, frustration. It gets taken out on the kids because they are there. They're there. So, when you don't give me a break, I can't relax. I can't, get the stress off and the kids. Regroup. Yeah, I can't do that. So the kids get that. They get that. They get monster mom. I ain't proud of it, but it is what it is, No,
that's
monster mom.
What you're talking about, I think, that's basically a fact, because if you think about anything that we do, even let's just take sports for an example, right? You can't run somebody for 4 quarters, man, unless they are in shape for that and ready for that. You can't run them for 4 quarters. They got to come out and take a break so they can be the best player they can be. So, if you constantly out there, you're going to start making mistakes. You're going to start failing. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the custodial parent needs a break.
He can give you a break. He ain't got to show no affection to the look. Tell him go up to his room and then you get a break.
It don't work like that.
Anyway.
It don't work like that. Especially with mom.
No, but let me say this. You have to be honest about, my granddaughter was with me this weekend, and I realized this weekend,
did she freeze up?
Fro. All right, while we wait for her, Doug, is there anything
in me because she's high energy.
Okay.
And I had to say to her, hold on, stop, because you're my anxiety is increasing with you. And so when I thought about it, I'm teaching her to recognize what I'm feeling based on what she's doing. So we have to be able to verbalize that too. So if I, descending to the room, okay, if that works, okay, but if I can acknowledge what I'm feeling, I'm teaching her to acknowledge what she's feeling. So when I ask her, what are you feeling right now? And she says, well, I'm angry. Okay, I'm mad. Okay, well, let's talk about it. So being able to acknowledge that rather than just saying, go to your room and we all gonna be cool. Because at the end of the day, when you come out of your room, guess what? What have we resolved? It's like going to bed mad with your spouse. You go to bed mad with your spouse, you get up the next morning. Have you resolved that issue? Right. Nope, because it's still there. It's still there.
Doug, as a father, what is it you wish you could have did better or more of as a father? What would you tell another father he needs to pay more attention to be that great father that you know that you didn't do or you felt like you didn't do enough for?
Well, like I said, I didn't go to all the girly girl things, in terms of, going to do the shopping, going to do the, mani-pedi, I'm pretty sure I funded, some of these activities, from that standpoint. So breaking character, because I was trying to, have a different type of relationship, not necessarily, the friend as much as, the leader kind of thing. That was my goal from that standpoint. But, my ex-wife, she was definitely the friend and did a lot of those, kind of really good bonding activities and so forth as they got into the teen years and so forth. So I would probably say, make sure that, even with daughters, that you still try to do a few of the things that, even if you just got to insist, because they don't want to be around that a lot of times when they're in that impressionable age. I became really dumb as, the older they got into the teens, I became really super dumb. And I'm getting smarter now, but at one point I didn't have any knowledge and couldn't really relate and so forth. So I would say do whatever you can, be real patient and try to maintain, relationships through the difficult years, which is, the teens and the tween years. And a lot of that really just boils down to, getting engaged into their activities and so forth. Even the ones that, really, you may not think that, as a father or man or whatever, that you would want to impose yourself into those environments, do it every now and then still. That would be an advice that I did, that would give myself to do.
Let me just.
Okay, go ahead, Mo. We don't want you to forget.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I just wanted to mention that, what Doug was saying is kind of a two-way street. You can't just want to be there; they gotta want you to be there too, right? It's a two-way street. So if it's only one way, it's probably not gonna work.
Well, yeah, I did, dropping them off, to dance class. I did threaten to go in and say hello to all, the friends in the dance class.
Oh, that'll do it.
They quickly got out of the car. No. So, I did. They may have taken it as a threat, but I was just offering.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, what is it that you wish you could have done better, or you would have learned better about being a father?
Oh, okay. So I'm not sure I'm gonna field that question because I'm not a father.
Okay.
I don't have any kids, so I probably should. I can give some opinions on some things, but I don't feel like it's personally my place to comment on that because I'm not a father. I don't know all the things that maybe you all have experienced. So I'll stay out of it. I won't comment on that question.
All right, Mike, tell me what yours is. What do you think you could have done better? You wish you would have learned better?
Well, son, I would have done better or changed.
Yeah.
Probably listen to my wife saying you need to show your kids emotion. That's why they soft now. They're in the house right now. They was out. When COVID hit, they moved back in the house. I got 3 dogs in the house. I have we just had a newborn granddaughter.
That's who Batman you stole, ain't it? You stole your kid's Batman, didn't you?
That's a throwback Batman. That's antique. So I would say no, for real, on the serious. I don't know, man. What I do different? I don't know. More money.
Money.
Yeah,
That
because
money
I
man.
mean they had
Haven't you made enough money?
Give
Money
more
Mike.
or make more.
How much
What do
money
you
do
mean by
you
more money?
need?
I
Give
need
more, make
vacations.
more, keep more for yourself.
I need a vacation house for myself now because everybody at the house.
By yourself.
Yeah. I don't know.
And Mo, let me say this. You have a perspective, even though you say you're not a parent, you have a perspective. And your perspective is you see and recognize the deficit. And your heart and your mind says, I see the deficit. What needs to be done? And that's from a parent perspective. Even if you say you're not a parent.
Okay.
Right. Even though you don't have your own children, though the children of the community
Yeah.
are still ours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
they belong to us.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we, at the end of the day, they belong to us. In some kind of shape, form, fashion, they belong to us. And even if you don't have children, you are still part of the village. And so you say, I have an opinion, I have an observation, you are still part of the village, even with no children. That's just me. That's Deborah. Is that Dr. Darren or Deborah?
I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead, Mike.
Let me just say this. I would say.
Or y'all get me in trouble because it's 8:01. Y'all can
Okay, let me just say this. I wouldn't change anything because everything I've been through has molded me to who I am now. The communication I have with my kids, my sons can come to me, they'll cry on my shoulder, they'll tell me deep secrets about their relationships. My daughter too. So I would say all the scars that I built on the past and what mistakes I made, I mean, it made me who I am now. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I got some bumps and lumps. I wouldn't change anything.
All right. Well, I had my share of kids and I wish I could have spent more time with them. I really do feel bad about missing my daughter's shot because she depended on me for that. So there are some things that I missed. And I don't think, I miss not growing up with a father because I didn't know some things. So I had to reach out and start looking at other people to guess. And when you look in the outside, you guessing because you don't see the bad things that go into it. So I became a hella financial provider. And that was my fallback. I don't care what you need. As long as it's got a dollar sign in front of it, I can be great at it. And I didn't learn the whole compassionate feeling thing. But we didn't get to rest of, but this is what we got to start having these uncomfortable conversations so we can look at them and we can address them and we can stop these generational curses. We just can't be afraid to admit what we failed. The minute we admit that we failed, we can make a plan to be better because we can't make a plan as long as we think everything we did was right and correct. That's a lot of what our parents did. They didn't know no better. We know better now. So I want to say I'm glad I had you guys. Mo got a book out. Actually got a bunch of books out. Trina does, she ain't got no glasses to show y'all, but Trina does her thing. Real Tailgate, I want to say he throw tailgate parties, but hell, I think he a Falcon fan, so we ain't even gonna talk about that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna invite him back so we can finish the rest of it, because all these were supposed to be like 35-minute segments, but we got caught up into them. But we gotta look at doing better, and we can't keep, I'm a big advocate of letting the past go. We can remember it, but we can't keep using that as an excuse when we can choose to be better. It's hard work. It's hard work, and we can't keep running from the hard work because it's hard work. We just want a simple pat on the back. We want a participation trophy. We want somebody to tell us we great when we're just marginal. We got to make our future better, and we possess all it takes. We got the villages, we got the knowledge, but we keep pushing it off and saying, well, I did a good job, or I did the best I could. What's the song say? Sometimes your best ain't good enough. Do better or let somebody else do it. And we can't keep doing it. Robert says, in hindsight, I would have talked more about what's going on in their life instead of fussing all the time. And these are the things that we know now. And even in, I don't know how many of you guys talk to your parents as you got older. Some things you can say now that they did wrong, and you can see why they did it. And it's almost a healing session because they didn't do it with malice. They did the best they could. We got to do the same thing. Talk to your kids and ask them what they're missing. Ask them what they want you to do more of. I appreciate Mike for giving me the topic. We're gonna finish it up. We're gonna use me in the whole show. so we can get into the whole, because I want us to be better. I want us to be better parents, better spouses, even better providers, and realizing that being a good provider don't mean you got to work your ass off and neglect everything. Because as Mike said, there's a balance that we got to start putting into place. It can't be like this if we're going to do a partnership. So everybody say, give them your parting words so we can get out of here so I don't get a nasty ground for management. Deb, you go first.
I'm gonna use your words. When you know better, you do better.
Work for me. Trina Marie.
I don't really have any parting words. Bye.
Damn. Dougie Fresh.
Stay focused.
Mike, running from the FBI.
I'm just saying, hey man, throughout everybody, just get together, create something, build on it, make sure that foundation is solid, and can't nothing or nobody. And when I say build on it, I mean you have to have the solid ground, religions, whatever your religion, put the power there and build up on it.
Mo, what you got for me?
Ignorance of the law is no excuse, but teach me before I do something stupid.
Good one.
Teach me.
And with that, we're gonna be back again. And one of my favorite ones is each one teach two. Stop teaching one person, teach two, and know better, do better. All right. So until next time, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. I want to thank all y'all for showing up. And
appreciate you.
We out.
Oh yeah.